Good morning, YouTube. Ryan here from All Mine Ranch. I was at Home Depot last night buying a bunch of lumber. I've got a bunch of 2x8s for the next and final solar rack. I know I said I was done with that project, but I decided to build a fourth solar rack. And I was getting all these 2x4s and 4x4s and whatnot. And I also needed a couple of bottle jacks from Harbor Freight to jack up my container to level it out so that I can start building a carport off of it, because the carport's going to house my backhoe, etc. I also wanted to pick up a door, a pre-hung door, which is going to be a door out in the container. But I was walking around and I had been looking at scaffolds on Home Depot's website, and they're basically $255 for an indoor scaffold. Harbor Freight was a couple of bucks cheaper, but I get a military discount at Home Depot. But I don't need a scaffold right away. But despite not needing a scaffold, what's that? A big yellow scaffold. Why? Because 169, can you see that? It's too bright. They're discontinuing it. They had two left. One was this assembled one, which I didn't have room to bring home last night, and the other was still in a box. So I bought both. Last night I brought home the one in the box. So between this big heavy box down here, which is the other scaffold, and the door, and all this lumber, and a couple of bottle jacks, first of all, I spent a fortune, but I got a lot of what I needed. So I got up bright and early in the freezing cold before the sun was even up to unload my truck of all that lumber. And yeah, that was cold before I could go back to Home Depot to pick up this scaffold. And I had noticed a purple tagged beam here. What the hell? I don't even know what this thing is, but purple tag lumber, the Cull lumber is 70% off. This thing to me looks to be about a 4x6. Badly bowed, badly warped, but 70% off. And then, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it. It might help support the container after I level it out. Maybe I'll put it underneath the container. That container, if you can see it. But as I was at Home Depot picking up that scaffold in that beam, I also noticed these purple tagged beams, which are like 16 foot. Well, those are 4x6s. So that other one must be a 4x8 because it's actually wider. So now I have four. I'm laughing because I don't really need them. But how do you turn down a 70% off beam with the prices of wood these days? And they're almost straight. All that lumber came to $270, but with the 70% off, came down to $70. It was pretty sketchy bringing it home in my truck. They stuck way out. I actually had to buy 3 bags of cement to put them at the front on top of the beams to give them some ballast and to weight them down to keep them from flying out, because I didn't have a good way to strap them down. So working alone, getting all this stuff out of my truck alone is a bit of a challenge. I've got some tricks up my sleeve. Those beams are heavy. Anyway, I'm going to unload those guys. And then I think I'm hopping in the truck, heading back up to Tucson to buy a couple of IBC Totes and a rain barrel that I also got a deal on. So I've got a little bit of cash from a year-end work bonus thing. I mentioned that in the previous video. So I'm starting to spend it and pick up some necessary and some not so necessary supplies. Okay, that was some work. These are actually 18-foot 4x6s. And I think an 18-foot 4x8. And then I also picked up this other thing that someone had abandoned on the side of the road. It's warped and bowed. But that's another 4x6 that is about 17.5 feet long. So I really need this much big timbers? No. But Shiver Me Timbers, I will make it work. Arg. Okay, I'll admit the scaffold is a pain in the ass working alone. Sometimes, you know, I like being single. I like living alone. I like being very self-sufficient, but sometimes it's nice to have a second pair of hands. And usually when I need them, I don't plan it out. I guess I could have called a friend in Bisbee, my friend Jim, and had a hand, but I didn't. I could use a hand right now, but I'll just cuss and swear and grumble and tug and pull and get this damn indoor scaffold indoors. Okay, well, I managed to get the scaffold in the house. That's a start. It's a little wonky. Doesn't seem safe at all. So it pulls it that way. Well, we got 3 Border Patrol trucks parked on the next road and a helicopter coming in for landing after circling a few times. So I suspect we got some border crossers who are cutting across just on the far side of my land here. And looks like they're about to get apprehended. I may want to take precautions, self-defense precautions in case they're right here. I know that looks far away, but God, he's only 400 yards, that helicopter. It's this wide angle lens that makes everything look really far away. So this is interesting.